Now to the rare watch dealer who's disappeared without a trace, along with some very valuable timepieces. Collectors who left their watches with Ian Tillman for safekeeping are now hundreds of thousands of dollars out of pocket. And the hunt is on to find him before time runs out.
For some, they're more than timekeepers that sit on your wrist. They're fashion statements. They're collector's items, they're investments. Some of these watches are rarer than diamonds. James Wallace collects them, but he also buys them and waits for the value to grow. He paid Sydney business Watches R Us $103 grand for 3 Rolexes at the start of this year.
Things didn't add up by late January. I thought, well, you know, these watches should have been flown into the country. I should have them. But he just always had an excuse. He was away. He was uncontactable for little periods of time. But then he'd get straight back on the message and contact me immediately with some excuse.
He is Ian Tillman, the watch broker, who's disappeared. Gone too some serious cash and some high-end watches, valued at up to $50,000. The watches were owned by individuals. Tillman had them on consignment, selling them for a commission.
And it was actually how I found out about it was in early February. I typed into Google, Watches R Us, and the first thing that came up was watch scam. And that's where I just sank and I was like, oh no. I started reading, it was like this bad dream.
Tillman ran Watches R Us with a private showroom in the heart of Sydney. This alleged victim, who asked not to be identified, handed over his rare timepiece in 2019 to Tillman. It was a D Bethune, which was individually numbered.
At first, I went in with him with another watch. He gave me cash for that. In fact, I sold 2 watches through Watches R Us. When it came to D Bethune, we realised that it was rare. There wasn't a big market for it because they're a relatively small brand, and so it could take a couple of years to sell. So rather than give me cash, he said, we'll put it on consignment. You know, maybe there would be a market for it in the future. So, you know, quite frankly, it was in his safe, as I thought, in Elizabeth Street and secure. And if a buyer came up, he would call me.
He says he checked in every few months. At the start of this year, a red flag.
I first looked at it on YouTube channel, and there was a case of a watch dealer who was quite well known. Had quite a big YouTube presence. His company was called A Timepiece Gentleman, and how he'd been arrested by the FBI for essentially running a Ponzi scheme and you know, taking watches on consignment, selling them, not passing on the money. And I thought, geez, let me just check again, Watches R Us. And so when I clicked on the website, I saw a sign up saying permanently closed. And obviously my heart sank.
Where was his $40,000 watch? The D Bethune has a unique serial number, which he tracked down to a web shop based in Dubai.
So your watch is sitting on a website in Dubai and it's being offered by some guy from Switzerland?
So yeah, they confirmed it was the watch, and they also confirmed that they hadn't actually got it. They were also a watch broker. They had it on consignment for a gentleman in Switzerland.
And guess what? They still have it listed. Watches R Us parent company is Mazal Group, trading since 2016. Ian Tillman was the front man, but he ceased as a company director on February 7 this year. It went into liquidation 9 days later, on February 16. The liquidator's report showed $68,000 left in the company bank account, which was immediately frozen. And it says more than $1.2 million were transferred to various people immediately before liquidation, including almost $52,000 to Tillman himself.
We know of up to 14 people who say they're severely out of pocket because of Watches R Us. Some have complained to police and other authorities. We've made extensive inquiries right across Sydney looking for Ian Tillman, including here, where the business was based in the CBD, but like his customers' cash and watches, he's vanished.
There are some people that have been saving up for years on end to be able to afford their dream watch, and it's all blown up in smoke because of how they've been treated by Watches R Us.
Adam Gleeser is a consumer advocate representing the ticked off customers.
There's one guy that paid over $40,000 in cash because that was the form of payment that Watches R Us preferred and asked them for. Do the right thing. Watches R Us. How can you actually live with the fact that there are so many people out there that paid a significant amount of money, trusted you for a watch, and you've treated them like this? It's a disgrace.